All right, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to our Week 18 NFL live stream for the NFL. We're going to go over our Saturday games that we have. Two Saturday games on the slate with the Steelers and Ravens, and a playoff game, a win and in game with the Texans and Colts as our late slate game. Both standalone games. We're going to start in Baltimore, where the Steelers will travel to take on the Ravens. Ravens come into this game as a 3.5-point underdog. Plus 146 on the money line. The Steelers minus 174 and an over-under of 34.5. Obviously, Ravens sitting a bunch of guys. We just heard Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Odell, Lamar. The list goes on and on for all the guys that they're going to be sitting. I do think the Ravens are going to put up a fight in this game. They'd love to kick my Steelers out of playoff contention. I like the Steelers to come out with the win, though. I think Mason Rudolph's been putting up points. Weird over-under for a team that scored 31 in their past 2 weeks. Obviously, Ravens sitting a lot of guys, so that could have a tendency into that over-under. But I definitely lean on the Steelers to cover the number. I'd like it to be 3. I saw 3 on another app, so probably go with the -3 on my Steelers. I did already lock in a Najee Harris first team touchdown, not first touchdown. I got that at plus 375, so loved that. Locked those 2 in already, but I'm going with the Steelers. I think Steelers get the win. We're going to have to see what happens in Sunday Night Football if they're going to make the playoffs. But, Mackie, I'll hand things off over to you. Steelers at Ravens, divisional matchup. Do you have the Steelers winning this matchup?
Yeah, I do have the Steelers winning this matchup. And you know why? It's Mike Tomlin in Week 18. He's going to get the job done. He's going to find a way into the playoffs like he always does. We know the Ravens are sitting a bunch of players, but even so, Mason Rudolph has looked really good. Jalen Warren has played incredible, which has actually made Najee Harris look a lot better as well. So the Steelers offense looks really good right now. That's been the weak point of this team the entire season. So if they can keep that rolling, the Steelers team's a lot better than they were to start the season. Even if Lamar was playing, I think it would still be close just because how these teams play each other. But I think the Ravens would have the edge. But I'm going to go with the Steelers here in basically a must-win situation. Ace, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on the opposite side of you guys. Must win doesn't mean everything. I don't think the Steelers team truly is that good, and I don't think they're getting to the postseason. I think that the Huff statement that he said at the beginning of the year, I know we're sitting a bunch of starters, but it rings true. The AFC North, everybody splits, everybody wins at home, and that's what's going to happen here. If this was in Pittsburgh, love the Steelers in this spot. They have to go to M&T Bank Stadium. You got to go down to the bank. I mean, it's a tough place to play. And the Ravens have that depth. We're going to see a big role from Melvin Gordon. I feel like you might be able to find great odds on his props. That might be something to look into. A developing story that we've had since Huff and I recorded on Wednesday is that Dalvin Cook has now signed with the Baltimore Ravens after being released by the New York Jets. I don't think he ends up being on the field this Saturday. Would be awesome to see so we can get an expectation of what he looks like. But I think he's going to be just a backup guy for those Ravens come playoff time, just in case Goss or Justice Hill go down. And I think they might not be too intrigued with Melvin Gordon. But I like Tyler Huntley here. Guy goes undefeated in the preseason. I think they lost one this year finally. But wins every game he gets in. He was good last year. I think they find a way to win this one this week. Knock their arch nemesis, rival Pittsburgh Steelers out of the playoffs. No better taste than that. These guys are going to be hungry that are touching the field. I know it's not going to be pretty. I love the under here. This should be a hard-fought, low-scoring AFC North battle.
Ace, back to what you said with how the AFC North splits. This is the one matchup. The Steelers tend to beat the Ravens 6-1 head-to-head in their past 4 years in regular season play. 6-1. Obviously, last year was 1-1. 2020 went 2-0. 2021 2-0. Last year 1-1, and then this year obviously already 1-1. So 1-0. So looking to get that 2-0 and force that playoff berth if they can get some help, but. Yeah, this is the one matchup. We tend to struggle with the Browns. The Browns is the matchup the Steelers tend to struggle with.
Yeah, this is just a massive game for you guys. I know there's a lot that still needs to go on Sunday, but if you can somehow eke out this win, I know the roster's not looking too great. You're on your third string QB, but the cards are lining up.
Best QB of the season so far.
I'm still on Kenny Pickett. I know sophomore slump. I'm calling it that.
Okay, yeah.
Book it. You heard it here first.
But you got to ride the hot hand here.
Ace,
Steelers are in a tough spot because if we get in the playoffs, if we win this game and we get in the playoffs, Mason's the quarterback through the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
That kills Kenny's ego, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I don't think Kenny's a franchise quarterback to begin with.
No, I know you've said that for a while, but like,
no, but I think he'll be the starting quarterback day one next year. He'll be the starting quarterback day one next year.
I think he will.
But I think this might hurt his performance.
What if Mason wins a playoff game? All right, let's get into this next game. That's enough. I like the
This one's
Steelers with
way
the
better.
points. Aces on the Ravens. Definitely going to be a good AFC North matchup there. We'll head to an AFC South matchup for our Saturday night game, where CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans are heading to Indianapolis to take on Gardner Minshew and the Colts. The Texans coming to this one as a 1.5 point favorite, -116 on the money line. Colts -102. I saw plus 100 elsewhere, so right around a pick in most spots. Over under 47.5 for this game. I have been going back and forth on this one. I definitely could see the Texans win this one. I like the Colts to come out on top here. The one thing that not many people are talking about with this game is Shane Steichen and D'Amico Ryans, two rookie head coaches. One of them is going to be taking a pretty young team to the playoffs. I think the home team comes out on top. I don't love that they're the underdog. I mean, it doesn't make me not want to bet it. I'm probably going to go with the Colts here. I might jump sides. I just can't get a good feel for this one. Right now, I'm just kind of riding with the home team. Ace, we'll hand things off over to you for this game, and then you can hand things off to Mackie for Texans at Colts.
Yeah, like you said, tough game, and the odds makers know that too. That's why they can't pick a side with that spread. So wherever you go, you got to be leaning with it come game time. I'm gonna go with the best player on the field, and that is offensive rookie of the year, CJ Stroud. I think he just does enough to get a win here this week. Gardner Minshew, great Cinderella story this season. Those Colts are pesky. They have some good playmakers. Alec Pierce stepping up. I know they have the receivers out there too. Jonathan Taylor stepping up. But I like what CJ Stroud's been able to do. I think he cements his legacy as the rookie of the year here this game. I think it's a legacy game that builds onto his career, gets him into someone come that time. And let's not forget, if you win this game, you have a chance at taking home the AFC South if the Jaguars can drop their game this week. Although I don't think they will. I'm pretty confident in CJ Stroud here this week. Mackie, let me know what you think. We're kind of split down the middle. But yeah, I'm rocking with the Phenom rookie.
Yeah, this is going to be actually a really good game. I'm looking forward to it. But I lean Colts here. I love CJ Stroud. I think he has a bright career ahead of him. It's year one. He had a great year. I think he's just going to miss out this year in the playoffs. I just like this Colts team. I think they're a little better. Texans play pretty bad football on the road. To Gardner Minshew, I've been saying it since like week 8. He looks confident. He's playing really good football. I just think they're the better team. They're on their home field. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a toss-up. I think there's a lot of points. I like the over. What do you say, 47.5, 48?
I like the over in the prime time as
I think
Saturday night
it's a
prime
shootout
time
for sure. But yeah, I like the Texans here. I think it's going to be, or I like the Colts here. I think it's going to be a close one. I think the Texans can find a way to win this football game, but I'm going to go with the Colts here.
You know what Huff says about divisional matchups though? You gotta like the under in those ones. So it's weird. I lean the over like you guys, so I'm not gonna touch total here. But I am
He's
gonna
doing
ride with CJ
sling, though.
Stroud. CJ Stroud is gonna get the job done
I
and
love
prove that
CJ
he
Stroud
should have
too.
been the number one pick. He's gonna win
Tex
this game this week. Best player on the field.
Yeah.
Colts
you're
better
muted.
team overall though, Mackie. Like you said,
Best
they
thing
are a better
here,
team
yeah.
overall, but
So you
Yeah,
think
the thing
the
with I don't
worst
like the
overall
under in this
team
game
gets
at
in
all. I
and
think this is one of those divisional matchups where there definitely could be points here. This Colts team has been putting up points on their home field. We know what Stroud and the Texans are capable of. Colts defense, though, they've been playing some pretty good football the past couple of weeks, especially on their home field. I just think Steichen, I like Steichen as a coach. Nothing against D'Amico Ryans. I like him as well, what they have going on down there in Houston. I think the AFC South is definitely on the up and up with these two teams. Some great coaches in that division with those guys, Vrabel. Peterson's won a Super Bowl down there not with Jacksonville, but before he got there. So I definitely think the AFC South's on the up and up. I'm on the Colts in this spot, though, to cover the number at home.
good story either way, whoever comes out of this one.
Both teams definitely already exceeded expectations. So hats off to them. I love CJ Stroud, like I've said multiple times. Just don't think it's year one. So he'll have plenty of chances.
Here's a question for you guys. Who do you think has a better chance? I know, and take the odds into account here too. Who do you like to get in the end zone this week? Do you like Singletary or do you like Jonathan Taylor?
I think Michael Pittman has a career game this week. I think he goes off.
Superstar wide receiver. I think if Tank Dell was in this game, maybe that changes the whole narrative for you guys on the Texans because they're missing their young star. I know
Best
they have
weapon.
Nico Collins, Noah Brown, Robert Woods, Dalton Schultz. They still have the guys that can get the job done. But I mean, this is going to be a great game. I'm super excited for this matchup. Great Saturday night game. They have been all year. Saturday night seems to be the best primetime slot we can get.
Yeah, they definitely set this one up nice. Both games should be pretty good. Even that Steelers Ravens game that the Ravens playing all their backups. What's going on over there, boys?
Shout out Jesse,
I don't know.
Finagle,
We're
and
having
Huff's
some
mic.
issues here. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. He keeps telling me I'm muted, but
I
Well,
think
you
he
are
just wanted to
muted
get a
half the time.
cameo on.
yeah. No. I know what you mean.
Shout out
I
our
think,
producer Jesse
yeah, that's-
Cox hopping in.
I think that's. Does anyone else got anything else on this game? I don't really got much. I like Mackey's take on the Pittman kind of to have a big game. I'm big on him. Obviously, they have a lot of receivers there. Pierce has been really good, and every time I take Pittman props, they love to just start using tight ends out of nowhere. A team that doesn't really use the tight end position a lot, they like to
Kylan
leave them on
Granson,
the line of scrimmage. They'll
random
be
guys.
throwing it around to Mo Alley Cox, but I like the Colts here to cover the number, get the win at home. I'm big on the Colts this weekend.
Huff, last question before we wrap this game up. Give us one off the dome piece, not too much thought into it. First touchdown score of the Saturday night game.
For the Saturday night game.
Yep.
This game.
I want to see these odds real quick. Jesse hasn't pulled up. Give me 1 second to take a look here. Yeah, thank you for zooming in on that. What is? Let me see. Go down. I want to see how ridiculous Mo Alley Cox is.
It's Kylan Granson. He's not even their top tight end anymore.
Oh,
That's
really?
why. Yeah.
I didn't know he wasn't their number one tight end anymore. Who is it?
They run three.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They run that 3 tight end thing where it's hard to take one of those guys. I'd probably go with one of the running backs.
Yeah.
Give me
Taylor-
Gardner Minshew to run one in.
Taylor, or, what's it called? Singletary.
Dalton Schultz. I like that one.
Old reliable. Don't get me convinced on Dalton Schultz. That's
Huff's
a great
like,
pick.
shit. He's rubbing the
1,500 on
hands. He's
Dalton
like,
Schultz. I
take-
miss betting on him. I can tell you that.
Be
But
interesting.
yeah, that's going to do it. Like I said, 2 games this Saturday, and then we will have our typical 5 games on Sunday, as well as our Mortal Locks, things like that. So make sure you're staying tuned on Sunday, 10 a.m. Other than that, we'll see you guys then. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys, like we said, Sunday for the live stream and Thursday for our wild card NFL episode.
Bank that cash.